Hey guys, welcome back to our podcast, Inside the Coffeehouse. I'm Anna,
And I'm D-Rod.
and today we're going to be talking about making memories in everyday life.
Yeah, this is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for a while, ever since I put it on our board of topics for our podcast, because I want to talk to y'all about no matter where you're at in life. I feel like even though music is something that circles us and brings us all together here, there's still stuff that makes us all unique and stuff that makes each and every one of our lives unique and better to live in, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I just kind of want to break that down today and see what you can take out of, hey, reevaluating whatever is in your life and whatever you can be grateful for in your life, and see how you can turn anything that might be a negative into a positive by just simply looking at stuff at a different perspective. So that's a very broad way of viewing it. We'll make this episode quick, but do you have any starting points to kick us off?
Yes, so the first point I have is, what does it mean to you to live each day to its fullest?
That's perfect, because this circles back to whatever we are living in each day of our life, whether we are going to school or whether we have a full-time job outside of the house or whether we're on vacation or whether we work at home, whatever it is, living a day to its fullest looks a lot different for every single person. For example, some people love to go out and work out, so for some people to really be satisfied throughout a whole day and to live their day to the fullest in a certain day is, hey, I want to go run 10 miles in a day and work out and, have this really cool coffee at this coffee place, While some other people can be totally content with, hey, I went to work today, I talked to some good people, I had some great conversations, and I had this meal that I've been trying out, for example, for someone that loves to cook, and then they come home, they spend time with their family, and then at the end of the night, they read a book, and they're so satisfied in that way as well. So basically, I'm just showing you, I want to kind of ask you right now in this moment, what are ways that you feel, if nothing were to go wrong in the day, and even stuff goes wrong, it's going to be okay, but if nothing were to go wrong in a day, or what would be a way that you would love to live every single day? It doesn't have to be like something crazy like, oh, obviously we went to Disney World last week, but we can be like, oh, I want to go to Disney World every single day of our lives. That's not necessarily what I mean. It's just more like, hey, we are all put on this planet for a purpose. So, hey, what is something that, you can live your life to the fullest by, and still fulfilling your purpose. So I'll give you an example. For me, I love making videos like this. I love, obviously creating music, but there's a lot of stuff that goes around creating music, the back end business side of things. So I love, whenever I just get to touch my hand in a certain area of music in a certain day. Obviously, we want to try to do that every day. For example, I love making, podcast episodes with you. I love making a video that is really cool, a really put together video that promotes my next song. Or obviously, I love making music. I love songwriting. I love to record. All that stuff I feel very fulfilled in. But on top of that, though, there has to be a balance with other stuff that I love to do outside of that, with you, obviously, or with just, I loved, like, for example, simple things. I loved when I got to clean the kitchen with you the other day, or I loved, like, hopefully tonight we'll be able to go and make some more friendship bracelets for our upcoming shows, That's the small things as well mixed in with your purpose. So all that combined, I think each one of us can take just a few minutes of our day just to sit back and really evaluate, hey, what are the things that really matter to me in this world? At the end of the day, no matter where we're at in life, what are people that we need to stop trying to please? Who are people that we're actually going to want to pour into every single day? Because these are the people that, hey, no matter what, these are my ride or dies. Obviously, it's family. It can be close friends. It can be obviously my wife, close partners. But all of this is like, hey, what are you going to value most in your life? And the way that I look at it is it's a priority list. Who and what is at your top of your priority? For me, it's my family. Obviously, Anne is part of my family. It's the business that we run together. Together is the big word. I can't do this by myself. And it's just seeing, hey, what are the small things that I can take away from every single day and, hey, and be fully satisfied in that, like cleaning the kitchen with you, like being on the couch and watching Friends together, or like making friendship bracelets or building Legos or stuff like that. So anyways, that's what everything means to live each day to its fullest.
No, that was amazing.
Awesome.
Perfect. Let's go ahead and jump to the next point. And so the next point is, how are ways we adopt a lifestyle where we can make memories even during the dull moments?
I think the dull moments are the moments that we can, emphasize in our lives and really remember that, hey, in those moments are the moments that challenge us to be the better person of ourselves, Like our character, who we are, is exhibited a lot more prominently through like the dull low moments compared to like the high moments. You know, if everyone wants to go to Disney World in a day, honestly, those days are going to suck a lot less than the days that we have hard, I don't know, exams or hard days at work or,
Yeah.
you know, stuff's happening at home, you know? So in those dull moments, you know, I try to push myself through like, and this is when the whole thing with like time and me making sure that like, I don't want to skip a year or a month or a day that goes by just because I was bitter or because I was mad or whatever. You know, I try to, obviously we all get bitter, mad and sad or angry in these moments, but it's like, hey, I want to make sure that I can get out of those really fast to, you know, to ask for forgiveness for other people.
Yeah.
Or, you know, just to get out of those moments to be like, hey, you know, whenever we were in Disney, this is a great example. I keep on bringing up Disney because we loved it. But like we, what did I say before? What did I tell you before the week started? I was like, hey, I don't want to fight this week. You know,
Yeah.
obviously we're going to fight. We're a married couple. We obviously fight in a healthy way. You know, we're not like yelling at each other.
Yeah.
But if we ever did have a disagreement during the vacation, you know, it was always a race of like, hey, let's see how fast we can get past this conflict.
Yeah.
That way we can be like, hey, this is supposed to be a great time.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You know, I'm not going to linger on something that you said once that rubbed
Yeah.
me the wrong way, and just keep moving forward. So, for example, I will call that a dull moment, but through those dull moments, we're still making memories and we're still improving our character, ourselves, and our marriage better, and whatever
Yeah.
relationships that you have, whether that's personal, relationship, work, whatever. So that's a big thing. On top of that, though, I never want to wish that time goes by faster.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
That's a big thing because no matter if you work, whatever, I just bring it back to work because, you know, if we still work for our part-time jobs, we can be like, oh, I wish that it could just be the rest of this day and then we can go home and actually have my fun, you know? But
Yeah.
it's like, no, like those 6 hours or 8 hours or 12 hours that you're away or doing something that you don't necessarily want to do, obviously, you would rather be doing other stuff. But I want to challenge you. This is a big challenge, and this might be sounding crazy, but like, what can you do in those moments to really be like, hey, what are something positive I can take away from this? And what's another outlook that I can look and give myself a new assignment to do to improve my current circumstance? You know, for
Yeah.
example, at work, like say, give me an example. Where would someone work at? like a popular place. I'm trying to give it.
Starbucks, but
Okay, we'll do Starbucks. You just keep all this in there. But
Yeah.
let's say you work at Starbucks, right? So if you work at Starbucks, you're going to sit there and let's say you just are waiting for the clock to go by. You leave in 3 hours or whatever, you know? You can either choose just to stare at the clock and wait for time to go by and kind of just, you know, be whatever to the customers, you know, not really be paying attention, not really talking to your coworkers, and just wait for those 3 hours to go by. And when those 3 hours go by, boom, you don't get those 3 hours back. You know, obviously, maybe they might have not been the funnest 3 hours, but hey, they're done. Or you can look into that with a better perspective and be like, hey, I'm here. You know, it smells like coffee. Obviously, the smell of coffee smells good. You know, you could talk to new customers, people that you've never talked to before. What?
Yeah.
Maybe you could talk to them about their life, what they do for a job. Maybe you can learn a new job that never existed before, or maybe you can get connections to another job that you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, maybe there's a really cool person that works in construction in there, and you've loved construction your whole life, and you make a connection right there.
Yeah,
you know.
that's true.
Instead of being dull and wishing that these 3 hours go by fast so you can go do something else, it's like, let's be active in those moments that you don't want to be active in. And that way you can say that you really live those 3 hours. I know 3 hours isn't, in the grand scheme of our lives, isn't a big time, but it's still time that I don't want you to waste and I don't want us to waste as well.
Yeah,
So
no, that's super
That's
good.
all I really had to say about that.
That was amazing. That was good.
And I think that was all I had to say. Oh, I'll bring this last point in because I had it in my notes.
Okay, so if you want to finish the rest of that podcast episode, along with dozens of other podcasts, song breakdowns, and exclusive videos and songs that I don't put out anywhere else, join D-Ross Coffeehouse for free. I promise I post 3 times a week in there, and I don't even show it to anyone else except for the people in there. So I love y'all, and I'll see you soon in the Coffeehouse.